Yeah, I mean, we got a massive win. Okay. I don't want to say massive as in it matters, but massive as in it was great to fucking see the boys back on the field doing what they do, right? But Stank, we dominated while leaning on depth, which is a
Mhm.
big part of why I'm excited to talk about this game because in years past, the depth has looked like dog shit. Preseason games have been pretty sloppy, which is kind of, what you expect to an extent. But the depth that we've added got to shine in this game against the Titans. The young guys came out there and showed what they could do. We've seen, running backs we didn't even know about got to do what they could do. And it was a good night overall to see guys that we don't know make some early names for themselves here in some battle, some camp battles, some competitions going on with different backup positions. And, even seeing guys like Servassier Dennis, who's a starter, playing a good chunk of time too.
Yeah, guys like that need it, right? We need to see Braswell out there. He clearly needs all the reps he can get. Guys like that who are starters or are going to play big roles on this team still need to get out there and go against live competition and start to sharpen their skills a little bit. So I'm not mad. I mean, everybody's expecting Braswell to look like, fucking JPP out there. It's going to take this kid some time to really get where, to hopefully ascend so that he can be a quality piece in this rotation. And we still don't know what he is yet. So, I mean,
Yeah.
after one preseason game, I'm not willing to hit the panic button yet.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got to see a guy like Servassier Dennis go out there and play. First of all, he's got to shake off a lot of cobwebs, and he hasn't really played that much since we drafted him. So you kind of do need him to go out there and see some live bullets. Not kind of the same thing as what you want from a Jacob Parrish and some of the rookies, but you do want to see Dennis go out there and get his feet wet, get back in action because that game speed versus camp speed is much different. And then of course the offensive line. We don't know what's going to happen at left tackle in terms of the first couple of weeks of the season, maybe first 4 weeks. We don't know yet. So we needed to see Heck out there. We needed to see Klein going in at center. Apparently, he can play every position on the line, or he's cross training in every position. To see him at center with a possibility of moving Graham Barton to left tackle, as a plan B if things just don't work out with what Heck does in the preseason. All these things matter. So week one, although it's preseason, it's a big deal to some of that stuff, and that stuff they need to get on tape. They need to see guys like this on tape. They need to see Shiloh Sanders on tape, see what he can actually do, see if he can make a tackle, see if he can get out there and contribute to special teams. And of course, the wide receivers who all look like they're 7 feet tall for some fucking reason, coming out there, making plays, having a chance to make a team in some way or another. I know one guy's from West Virginia, so Zach is fucking losing his shit once that kid gets out there. But how about J-Mac and Ibuka coming out there with Kyle Trask at the helm and just shining, Stank? I mean, having an opportunity to make 2 big plays from those guys, contested catches, big catches down the field, a little bit different than what we've seen, over the last year in terms of how dominant the offense was. We didn't really have that down the field, impact aside from Mike Evans every now and then.
Yeah, perspective here. The Titans were the worst team in football last year. They had the number 1 pick for a reason. They don't have depth. And it was nice to see our depth pieces really take advantage of this opportunity and go out there and shine. Ibuka's not a depth piece.
No.
Jalen's not a depth piece. These guys are going to be asked to contribute early and often. And they should go out there and look like they did. And it was nice to see. Although, Ibuka let me down, should have caught that touchdown pass. Chris would have caught it easily. But, you can't know it all right out the bag. All right. You got to have some room for growth. And, it was nice to see.
I mean, we got to see Naughty Miller out there. He looks like he's one of those preseason studs year in, year out, right? He gets taken off the field, evaluated for a concussion. Chris Myers and fucking Rondé are talking about how he's probably not going to be. All of a sudden, they look down, and he's out there catching passes. And they're like, wait, how's he back on the field? And I guess they couldn't even keep him off the field. That's the competitive nature of this Naughty Miller character, Stank, who I believe could be, preseason, got preseason MVP written all over him, in my opinion.
He's got reps in this offense.
Real reps.
He played meaningful minutes for this team.
Actual football in October.
Actual football. Clearly, all the quarterbacks on this roster trust the kid. First one in, first one out, hard worker, knows the playbook. Just that kind of guy. A blue collar, a wide receiver, white. Okay, is what I was trying to say. He just fits the prototypical position where, you know, there's a guy like that. It seems to be on every team. And you know, I don't know. He might be undeniable, Sammer, because this is a numbers game at the end of the day. You got two Johnsons that won on this team. One of them's going to make the team. Nobody's giving Naughty Miller any chance. Tough. He got concussed.
I mean, you got you got two Johnsons. Yeah. I mean, you got a whole bunch, right?
Right. Nobody's talking about anybody but Naughty Miller right now, and he's going to make this team most likely because the quarterbacks trust him.
Yeah, it looked like your boy Kyle Trask really trusts him, right? He's just kind of anytime he needed to make that play, would go to him. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Buka. He got that one catch, and they're probably like, "Oh, cool. Go ahead, sit down. Thank you so much. Great to see you out there." But man, Stang, he looked so fluid in that one play. I mean, I was watching that replay over and over and over. I was like, God, this guy looks fucking smooth. Just everything about it is just so smooth. And then, of course, you saw J-Mac make that play. But man, I just, you know, it was nice to see the offensive line not fall apart, being that it wasn't any of the starting guys out there. And I don't think Heck played badly. You know, they had some moments every now and then, a couple of those dudes. Klein had that terrible snap. But as a unit, they didn't really take a step back. And I think it speaks a lot to the offensive line coach that we have, who I think is going to have one of these guys ready to be a left tackle in case Tristan's not ready for week 1, which we don't know yet. So I think that was the biggest takeaway from the depth pieces in terms of, like, you know, stuff that's maybe not as sexy because everyone's talking about running backs and wide receivers. But see the offensive line go out there and block well and give Kyle, and I don't even know who the fucking backup quarterback was after him, to give everybody who was throwing the ball time back there was pretty cool to see. And, hey, man, again, Tennessee's not a great team, but everyone out there in preseason, Stank, is fighting for their lives because that's really it. Like, that's their dream, to get there, and they got one chance to make it most of the time. And so they're giving out much more effort than you're going to get from a 3-10 team in the middle of the season.